Do you want to be frugal and save money, but is your life so hectic that you can't even imagine how? Well, I've been where you are, and I want to help you. So I have 6 tips for you today that will help you live that frugal, simple, money-saving life of your dreams. Welcome, I'm Amy, and here at the Frugal Diaries, I give you tips and tools for frugal living. Y a mis amigas de habla hispana, bienvenido, y espero que este video en particular les dé apoyo y les dé inspiración para su vida diaria. Let's do this. Number 1, slow down. When your life is so hectic that you can't even imagine saving money or living more frugally, slow down the speed at which you do every activity in your life. I have a friend who talks about this a lot. He says that when it gets really hard for him, he'll go and wash the dishes and literally say to himself, I am picking up this dish, I am putting it in the water. With my other hand, I am picking up the sponge. I am rubbing the dish with the sponge. I am turning on the water to rinse. I am putting the dish under the water. You get the idea. After a while, this becomes almost a meditative act, and it helps you to slow down. You may not, in this exact moment, need that level of detail to help you slow down, but remember that tool just in case you get so frantic and so hectic that you can't figure out how to focus. Simply slowing down the speed and the pace at which you do any activity will help you to focus and help you to make better decisions. If this feels like luxury to you right now and you can't do that in every point of your life today, I completely understand. I've been there. But think of one time of the day and one activity that you can do more slowly. If you need some help with identifying frugal things that you can do that bring enjoyment to your life, that you can do slowly, I have a great video for you on frugal tips to enjoy life. Enjoyment and going slowly often go hand in hand. Number 2, prioritize health. It may involve taking care of the health that you do have, maintaining it, seeing if you can improve it or stop the decline. As we get older, we usually have 1 or 2 or 3 things that are really bugging us that probably aren't going to get better during our lives, and we have to acknowledge that. We care for our health by thinking about what we can do in every moment to keep ourselves as healthy as possible. And I don't mean in an anxious way. That's not what this video is about at all. It's in a way of saying, what will be best for me right now? What will feel the best? What will taste the best? What will I enjoy the most? What will give me the most right now? This may feel like an indulgence, particularly for women over 50, because we may have spent most of our lives taking care of other people, and we may still be taking care of other people. I know that many of you have graduated from taking care of your children to taking care of family members who are elderly and need your help. You may also be the family member needing help while you are giving help. This is complicated. How do we care for our health? In every moment where you have a spare moment, ask yourself, is this good for me? Does this make me feel good? Is this what I need to do right now? This is healthcare. This is taking care of ourselves. Did you take your medicine today? Did you drink your water today? Did you go walking today? Did you eat a vegetable today? I'm asking you these things because I care about your health and I want you to as well. Sometimes we're going too fast and we don't take care of our health. That's expensive in a lot of ways. It hurts us emotionally, it hurts us physically, it certainly hurts our pocketbook. And even if we're already paying out a whole lot of money for health care, taking care of the health that we have will help us keep going for longer, will help us contribute to the world, it will help us live the life that we want to live. So take care of your health. You matter. Number 3, learn new skills. If you need to slow down your hectic life, if you need to take some time out so that you can learn how to save money, this may involve stopping what you're doing right now and learning something new. As soon as I said, learn to do it yourself, something popped into your head that you said, I think I need to learn to do that. Maybe it's you need to learn to make a new recipe so that you don't go out and spend a whole bunch of money at that restaurant. That's something you can learn to make today. This may seem counterintuitive because you're living a frantic life, you're living a hectic life, and you want to stop long enough to save money. And I'm asking you not to stop, but to start doing something new. And it turns you into someone who produces what you need. And instead of living a life of consuming and consuming and consuming, because that's all you have time for, you're learning something new and you're producing for yourself, you're producing for your home. Some people like to start even the tiniest little garden in a pot in a windowsill, just to know that they can produce the basil that they're putting into the spaghetti sauce. It's so empowering to produce what you need around the house. Maybe it's getting out a broom and sweeping and you're producing cleanliness. Whatever it is that you need to learn to do will shift your mindset gradually over time from, I gotta go work to make more money because I gotta go buy that stuff, and then I gotta work here because I gotta go buy that stuff, and then I gotta go work here because I gotta go buy that stuff. And bouncing back and forth like that, you'll just feel like, you know those old pinball machines? That's what you're gonna feel like, is the pinball. Start producing something by doing it yourself and learning a new skill so that you can do it yourself. You'll be surprised at how much money you can save. You can do this. By the way, one skill that we're all going to be working on together in the month of April is saving money. And if you're new to saving money, or if you're an old hand at it, you are welcome. We're going to have an April savings challenge. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. And by the way, give this video a like, because that way you're going to get notified in the community tab of the channel how we're going to be running the April savings challenge. All right, back to the tips. Number 4, in every moment where you have the opportunity to do so, ask yourself, how can I simplify this? I want to credit the author Elaine St. James, who wrote a series of books back in the 90s about simplifying your life, for giving many of us this idea. If you were in your 20s and 30s during the 1990s, like I was, you probably remember those Elaine St. James books. But the mindset that she helped instill in many of us is one that we may have forgotten over the decades, and it's good to go back and remember. How can I simplify this? What is it that you are doing that feels very complicated to you? And how can you make it more simple? That may seem counterintuitive, because if, for instance, your project is that you got to get your taxes done, that feels inherently complicated, at least in the United States, and it may seem like you can't simplify it. But I guarantee there is something that you can do to simplify that process. Whatever it is that came to mind that you thought, I can't simplify that, just stop, take a minute, step back, and think to yourself, I think if I did this, it would get more simple. And I want you to tell me down below in the comments, what is that complicated thing in your life that's eating up too much of your brain space right now that you really need to simplify? And how did you decide to do it? Just in thinking through that. You have a process in your mind, and slowing down just enough to look at the thing and think, how can I simplify it? Will end up saving you time. It'll end up saving you money, because you won't go out and reach for impulse purchases to deal with the pain of this complicated thing over here. You won't reach for expensive help that isn't help. You know how sometimes you look at something that's going to help me solve my problem. It's not going to help you solve your problem. It's just going to be money that you spent. Instead, stop and look at how you can simplify it and answer that question. And then you have saved yourself money, and you saved yourself pain, and you have an impulse bought, and it's gonna be great. You can do it. Number 5, do less. Just don't do so much stuff. How much stuff do you have on your list to do every day? Do less. Cut it in half. Who's asking you to do stuff for them? Don't do it. Now, this is unrealistic in some cases, in some professions, in some family situations. I understand that. I'm being a little cheeky here. But I'm asking you to streamline your life here. I'm asking you to cut out everything that you can cut out. When you're trying to save money and your life is too hectic to allow you to even think about saving money, one of the main things that you have to do is stop doing stuff. I actually got inspired to suggest this to you because I recently had something that I was involved in that I had to stop and say no to. It was painful to say no, but it was important. And I'm going to save money over time because my mind will not be so stressed. I will not be so troubled, and I will not spend money impulsively. When you are living a hectic life and you're wondering where all your money went, it probably went to things that you bought to help you ease the pain. And we call those impulse purchases, or we call them solution purchases, or we call them something else. But whatever they are, we bought them to ease the pain of our lives being too frantic, too hectic, too ricocheting from one thing to the other. And what we really need to do is less. There are things that you absolutely can't give up, and I know that, and you may not want to do those things that you can't give up, but you have to. I understand that. But there are things that you could cut out because they are not serving you well, you don't enjoy them, and you just feel obligated. Cut those out of your life and you'll notice your impulse spending goes down, your spending on things to help you make it work goes down, and your saving goes up. And along with your savings increasing, your peace of mind increases. Finally, last but not least, care for your community. When I ask us to care for our community, I'm asking you to identify how can you reach out to people around you to share what you have to share. How can you reach out either in person or virtually in a way that's safe and appropriate for your community, for your family, for your situation? Sharing together doesn't necessarily cost money. Some of you talk about sharing with other people in your community by leaving stuff out on your driveway and people can come and get it because you put it out on your local Buy Nothing group and people came and got stuff. Some of you have talked about volunteering with children or volunteering at a local food bank or contributing at your local congregation. Others of you have talked about sharing with other people through gifts of food. Others of you have talked about writing and sharing your writing. There are all kinds of ways that we can contribute and care for our communities. Being part of our community helps save us money because we're not in isolation, reaching out for things to help us feel better, but instead we're in community, creating a world that we actually want to live in. Let's do this together. Henry David Thoreau said, "The price of anything is the amount of life you exchange for it." I'm inviting you to put these 6 tips into action today. Whatever your next step is on your frugal living journey, you are not alone, and I am so proud of you. Live frugally, change your life, and together we will change the world. I can't wait to see you again soon. Nos vemos pronto. Bye.
Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday, baby, don't you understand?